Hello and welcome back to the course on machine learning. In today's tutorial, we will show you how to download the datasets for this course. Now, as you can already probably tell, the course is large. It's got over 200 tutorials and over 35 hours of content. And as you can imagine, with that much training, we will have to have lots and lots of datasets. And that's why we have decided to place all of the datasets on their own separate page. So in order to get the datasets, you will need to go to www.superdatascience.com/machine-learning. So that's two words, machine-learning, and the website is superdatascience.com. And here you'll see a whole page dedicated to this course with lots and lots of data sets available, which you can download and install onto your machine in order to follow along with the tutorials. So today we're going to start off with the very first one as an example, and then throughout the course you'll be able to download the right dataset for every single section, depending on the section that you're doing. So today we're going to start off with the data pre-processing dataset, and here also we're going to get right away the machine learning A to Z template folder. It's a special template folder that we've created for you to help you store these datasets in a hierarchical fashion so that you can navigate all of these datasets better, and that so that they're all in the right place. So you have a very orderly folder structure on your own machine. So go ahead and download these two. These are both zip files. So if you just click there and click there, you'll see that these have been downloaded. The first one's very small. It's just empty folders. And then the second one is the dataset for the section. And then whenever you get to a new section, we'll of course remind you at the start of the section, but basically what you'll need to do is just download the right data set for your section that you're in. But more on that later. Let's move on to today's section. So we've got these two zip files here. All you have to do is take the machine learning A to Z template folder and unzip it to the location where you want it to be. So I'm going to unzip mine to the desktop. I'm going to right click and I'm going to extract, just click extract here. So that's on Windows, on Mac, similar thing, just unzip the file, unzip the zip folder. So there we go, there's a folder, and now if you look inside here, you'll see that you've got a very nice, neat structure. You can go inside any one of these sections, for instance, clustering, you'll see the title of the section, and then you can go into any one of these. And again, these are empty for now, and that's because we haven't done those sections. As you go through the course, you will populate these folders with their respective data sets. Now we're going to go into data pre-processing, so part one. And here we've got this whole empty folder. So we don't worry about the folders with the dashes. Those are just titles to remind us where we're located inside the folder structure. So just go ahead and take your data pre-processing zip folder, drag it here, and right click and just say extract, extract here. And again, just go inside data pre-processing because we don't want it to be in its own separate folder. Just take all these files, copy them, so right click, actually cut them, and then paste them here. So basically you don't need this folder now because it's empty. Delete that folder. You can delete this zip file because we don't need it anymore. And you can delete this zip file as well. So there we go. Now we have our machine learning A to Z template folder. You can remove the, actually let's do that. We can remove template folder from there. We can just say machine learning A to Z. And if you go in here, you'll see data pre-processing, and there you go. So you've got your data set ready for the section, plus you already have all of the templates which you will be creating with Hadoop throughout the tutorials in this section. And so that's pretty much what you need to do for every single section that you go through. And again, we'll remind you. And the reason for this structure is, so why did we structure it like this? Why did we, for instance, not include all of the data sets right away inside these folders for you, right? That would feels like it would be more convenient. But at the same time, there's a couple of reasons. So the first one is that in case we need to update something, in case we need to update a certain section, like this section, for instance, we need to update the data set. Well, in that case, if we had to update it and then re-upload the whole folder, that would take time. That would mean the course would not be available for longer, or that means while we're updating, a lot of people would be getting the wrong data set, and we don't want that. So if we want to update something now, we can very quickly just update that one zip file on the website, and that's very, very quick for us to do. And the second reason is, of course, size. If we had put all of the data sets in here right away, this folder would be massive. So it's much more efficient to download just the section that you're doing and then proceed with those tutorials. So there we go. That's how you get the data sets. And now I'll hand you over to Hadlan, who will take you through today's data set.
So what is this data set about? This data set contains columns: country, age, salary, and purchased, and 10 lines, 10 observations. And basically this contains informations of customers of some company. And the first 3 columns are informations of these customers, like the country, the age, and the salary. And the 4th column, purchased here, tells if yes or no the customer bought the product of the company. So we have to distinguish something very important here that we will distinguish for the rest of the course. It's the difference between the independent variables and the dependent variables. So the independent variables are the first 3 columns, country, age, and salary, and the dependent variable is purchased here, the 4th column. And in any machine learning model, we're going to use some independent variables to predict a dependent variable. So that means here that with these 3 first columns, these 3 independent variables, we are going to predict if yes or no the customer purchased a product. Okay, so that's the first distinction that we really need to understand. And it's very important to do this section because the data preprocessing steps that we're going to do in this section, we will have to do it for all the machine learning models we are going to make. So it's really essential to know how to manage this. But don't worry, it's going to be very simple. And besides, I'm going to give you at the end of this section a template that will allow us later to pre-process the data in a flashlight for all the machine learning models we're going to make. So I look forward to starting these steps with you. And until then, enjoy machine learning.